So, by now plenty of you had the courage and the outright bravery to go see 50 Shades Darker. I mean, you shouldn't, given that it's a terrible, terrible movie, but let's not kid ourselves. This movie made a lot more money than John Wick Chapter 2 on opening weekend, and it almost made a lot more money than the Lego Batman movie. As it stands right now, it's standing 5th place at the box office behind The Great Wall. And people, before you flock out to go see how bad this movie is, don't. Save your money. It's cold and breezy outside, and you guys should be doing anything else with your time. Like watching a better movie, like the Lego Batman movie, John Wick, just anything but this movie. Don't see this movie as a so bad it's good movie because it's only gonna bore you to tears halfway through. It's one of those movies that it's extremely hard to make fun of. Now, back when I was starting making videos for my channel, which was like 2 years ago, I made a 30-minute long uncut rant about 50 Shades of Grey. If you saw it, you know how much I truly hate it. If you haven't, click in the link in the description below. This was like during the beginning period when I was reviewing movies. Suffice it to say, I displayed that 50 Shades of Grey was one of the worst films ever made and pretty much the worst film of the year. That was until Fantastic Four, or Fant4stick, beat it to the punch. Now we are here 2 years later to review 50 Shades Darker, which I can tell you without a shadow of a doubt, it's worse than the first one. Without question. See, the big difference between 50 Shades Darker and 50 Shades of Grey is that 50 Shades Darker barely even has a plot. Because basically in the previous movie, or basically at the end of 50 Shades of Grey, spoiler alert, Anna and Christian Grey, they broke up. They went their separate ways because Anna doesn't want to deal with all this horrible violence and stuff. And so in this movie, Anastasia Steele is living her life getting creeped on by her boss at her new job, and also getting creeped on by Jose, who's pretty much Jacob from Twilight. And so after months have gone by, Christian Grey and Anastasia Steele finally meet up with each other, and Christian Grey is like, Anna, I'm sorry for beating you, I'm sorry for slapping you. I want you back, and here are the conditions. There will be no punishments, and there will be no rules. And so, like an idiot, Anastasia Steele was like, sure. Yeah, I want you back even though you stalk me, you manipulate me, you creep me out all over the place. Yeah, I'll be back with you. And throughout this movie, nothing happens after that. Because basically what you get in this movie are a bunch of subplots or side stories that don't even matter, or they just get quickly resolved, or just a bunch of boring sex scenes that are made just to drown out the runtime of this movie. The acting is still abysmal from all the other actors in the movie. I mean, I've seen Dakota Johnson in other good movies. I mean, I've seen her in Black Mass, but she's really bad in this. Jamie Dornan, who plays Christian Grey. You know, I've seen him from other things, and I know he could be a good actor, but his character is terrible. I've always hated his character from the first movie. He fits every single aspect of a serial killer would have. He stalks her, he manipulates her, he creeps her from every sense of the way. If you don't believe me, this is a scene that happens in the movie. After a solid night of breaking the bed, basically the next morning, Christian Grey gets a phone call from somebody, basically at the haircut place because he wants Anastasia Steele to get her hair done. That's not creepy at all. And then Anastasia Steele finally realizes that Christian Grey has Anastasia's bank account information, which is one of the questions that I've been thinking about during the movie. How does he have her bank account details? Maybe he should have been using the money from his company, from all the charity he's been doing, which, by the way, you cannot get rich on just charity like he claims. So how in the world does he have her bank account information? I mean, if you read the book, hopefully you can tell me. I'm just dumbfounded by how much of a creep he actually is. And even when they're together, the relationship is not even remotely that interesting because they're only together because of the sex. That's it. They don't even know anything about each other until like halfway through the movie. They don't even go on a date together. And even when they do, it's just always awkward. And also, the dialogue is just as bad. Seriously, there was a line in the movie that made me go like this. Like that. And not to mention all the subplots that really don't even matter in the movie. There's a subplot with Christian Grey's former submissive. That goes nowhere. That gets quickly resolved. There's a subplot with Anastasia Steele's creepy boss, who also acts creepy and stalkerish towards her. Okay, if you want to hear quickly resolved, I'm not making this up. There's a scene where Christian Grey's on a helicopter going on a business trip, you know, to Portland, Oregon, and after the helicopter's engine busts, the helicopter crashes. However, we never really see the crash. I mean, you see the crash in the trailer, but you don't in the movie. And Anastasia Steele is so shocked at the news, and then precisely 3 minutes later, the news is like, breaking news, Christian Grey has been found! And then after the announcer said the news, Christian Grey walks back in like, what'd I miss? And it did nothing. It did nothing for the plot. It did nothing for the story. It did nothing to raise stakes at all in the movie. It was just... It was nothing. It was nothing. Guys, I'm telling you, don't waste your money on this movie. If your friend dares you to go see 50 Shades of Grey with him or her, that friend owes you a refund. He or she should take you to see a better movie like Logan, Get Out, Lego Batman movie, John Wick Chapter 2, or Kong Skull Island when it comes out. Yeah, but guys, you shouldn't even be surprised when I'm gonna give this movie, so I'm just gonna put the score right out here. Alright, now I'm done. So, that were my thoughts on 50 Shades Darker. Comment below, let me know what you thought about the movie. Find me on Facebook, Twitter, or Google+. And also, be sure to subscribe for more. My name is Luke Nukem, and thank God, we got one more movie to deal with after this.